All right, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, Jesus Christ. I'm AJS0. I'm here with 30, and it feels really, really fitting that for once when we have such a monumental regular season closeout game, we have the two of us in the caster booth. Because that is not normally how these last regular season games go. But as you may be aware, this is Joey's Top Lane Emporium versus Muffin Men for the potential of every team not named Fizz on your Jace to be tied at 2 and 3.
Whew.
SBL Clown.
Yeah, I mean, going into this week, I thought JTLE, TIF, and DBM were all gonna win. Two strikes on that one. We'll see how this one goes down.
So let's talk about that on the other perspective, though, because no one's been talking about this. But if JTLE wins this game, they will have sole possession of second place, which also makes life a lot easier with a four-way tie instead of five. And this is a team that has, I would say, over the last 3 weeks, looked really good in two of them, those games that they had won. And the other thing to talk on really quick is, as you may have inferred from Twitch chat, Albino Joe has been hashtag benched for Silver 1 player Synapse. So a total wildcard true SBL rookie coming in here. So not too sure what to expect out of him, but all eyes going to be on him in this game as they have a chance to secure a really big buy for their team.
Yeah, this is
and we're having draft issues right away, folks. So we'll wait to start analyzing the draft. We can keep talking big picture here. Also worth talking, though, for Muffin Men, this is a team that has not been able to get their full starting roster the past few weeks. They were missing Purple Pickle Pie 1 week. They were missing Cammer 1 week. A lot of Sona bands onto Isona Carry. And
yeah,
this is a team, and with all due respect to Isona Carry, he was very clearly the weakest player on this roster. And they should be a much more dynamic team now that they finally have their starting roster. And because we've seen some good performances out of really everybody on this team, the traditional carry roles.
Yeah, and it's what was it? The last 2 weeks, Camera was out.
It was Cammer 1 week, and then the week before it was supposed to be Cammer, but it ended up being Purple Pickle Pie.
Yeah, and I mean those are the two big names, really. I mean Wang also definitely contributes to its part, but you have the top and the bottom sides of the map. Either one of the weeks, feeling pretty low, feeling not as powerful, it can really change your team dynamic. You never play with some consistency and get a feel for these matches, and every match really counts, especially this one. This would be the match for them to win, to try to get that tie.
Yeah, absolutely. So
The Synapse thing, though, that's ridiculous that he has to come in rookie. This rookie, what are we at? 8 seasons at SBL. First one for him in this game is so big for JTLE to win. I don't know how much did they practice to this guy. That's another big question.
Yeah, I think the team dynamic has been a little it's been a bit of a mess with this team. So we'll see what they're able to do. But I do think that they maybe overreacted a little bit to a loss last week. I mean, the 2 weeks beforehand, they looked really freaking good. They had one of the better performances versus Fizz on your Jace if we go all the way back to week 1. I mean, it's really just their matchup last week versus Tilted Forward where Mad Cow was never let into the game. And I mean, obviously, JTLE, they are not a dynamic team, but that doesn't mean they can't be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. If they had their confidence shaken, I don't think they should do that. They are still a very strong team. They have plenty of carry potential in this lineup, and it seemed like all of these weeks they were sort of going with the same sort of team composition, same ideas. Put Manukau on something that can carry. Maybe that changes this week. Maybe they mix it up. They throw out entirely new picks. We don't see Ghost on Elise. We don't see Scotch on Braum. We maybe see something more aggressive out of either or both of them.
Worth noting, I think they're actually going to be doing a role swap with these players they haven't. I think that we're going to see Synapse in the jungle and Ghost going to AD carry, which he played on second place with you last season.
Yes. Okay, well then that...
So just keep an eye on that. We obviously can't be sure. But that should free up some space. Ghost was a very good low economy AD carry last season, which I think is the type of ADC that Thor and Mad Cow need. But we are blowing through the bans here. Zillion, Twitch, and Kennen being taken away from Muffin Men. All kind of iconic champions for those players. And then 3 bans dropped onto the Mad Cow with the Kled, Mordekaiser, and Graves.
Look at this classic SBL draft, man.
And then a
All
first
super
pick Silver.
targeted bans, first pick Silver.
Yeah, so I want to touch on the Mad Cow bans because my team just played these guys last week, and there was so much discussion we had about what to ban and which of Mad Cow's champions to ban. And the hardest part about these champions that Mad Cow plays is you know what he's going to pick, but they're all just champions that most top laners don't have that much experience against. I mean, none of those are popular super meta picks,
Right.
and Mad Cow can play them all at a high level, and you know that if you give up an advantage, it's going to really hurt your team. So
Yeah.
I think this is one of the rare situations where dropping 3 bans on the enemy target star player is very justified.
Yeah, and it's especially more so because if you actually do the research on him, he doesn't play a lot of other stuff aside from those picks in solo queue. So like, yeah, he really, really is good on those 3. But then once you get to that 4th pick in the depth chart, it becomes a little less clear on how much he can carry. Well, first rotation for the red side, Thresh and Lucian, very aggressive bot lane, the wife steal lane.
I like that a lot. I want to see Camer and Halric, presumably Halric going to be playing support. That's how they started the season off. I want to see these guys play something that can just bully the shit out of the opposing lane. Because we've seen Camer has some sick laning phase mechanics. I mean, some of these fights he's gotten, he's really gone full Master Splinter or full Thrifty Senpai, where he's in a bad situation, he just outplays his way out of it. And Thresh Lucian is going to be one of the most successful lanes you can possibly play.
Yeah, that just gives so much room for Camer to be really aggressive, make really bold, aggressive plays because Thresh can just lantern him out. He can help CC him. He can kite back. There's so many options for that bot lane to carry. Hecarim being picked up for Joey's top lane Emporium. He said Synapse is jungling this week, so
yeah, that doesn't
most
look like
likely
a
going
ghost
to him. Hecarim, a plenty popular pick right now. Good hard engage. Something that can get his lane snowballing early on as well.
And then the next rotation coming out of JTLE going to be Aurelion Sol and Darius. And that Darius is the pick I really want to touch on. This is Mad Cow's most played champion in ranked this season. It was a matchup my team went in expecting to have last week before he picked something else. And I am not surprised that since he has to go in blind, he's just going with the champ he knows best. Because he does have quite a lead on the second most games played champ.
Yeah, okay, so I forgot about Darius. So if you could have 4 bans in League of Legends, then we would find out what is in the 5th slot depth chart for Mad Cow. But it's going to be Darius again.
But the thing here with the Darius is even though if you're preparing for Mad Cow, you know that's his, in theory, best champion. It's his most played champion. But Darius is the most popular of those 4 champions, the one that you might have some experience playing against. So that was presumably a conscious decision out of Purple Pickle Pie and Company, who it looks like he is going to go with the Poppy, which I cannot imagine is a great matchup for the Poppy. I'm actually going to champion GG this because I am interested.
Yeah.
But as somebody who's played a bit of Poppy and understands kind of what she wants to do, I'm not sure what Purple Pickle Pie is going for.
I think he's being the team player here, and he's being the main frontline tank for his team. This lineup, yeah, I love it. It's really solid.
But if you go to top champions that counter Poppy, number 2, Darius. And honestly, I don't think if you're gonna go for the team player pick, I just don't like that as a last pick. You need to get some kind of edge. You could have blind picked the Poppy if this was your plan.
Yeah, and saved your counter pick for mid lane or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they looked at Thor's champ pool. He has a very diverse champ pool, so maybe they didn't care to even think of a counter pick for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I agree. That's not the best thing to start off with in the draft. Picking what pretty much is a lane counter to you when you have the counter pick. I like the lineup though out of Muffin and Men. It is fantastic. I think you have a good early game jungler and Lee Sin with Devout Milk, able to snowball all of these lanes. All of these lanes are really good to gank for. Malzahar, Lucian, Thresh bot lane, and especially even Poppy can help assist in some ganks if he needs the pressure to be alleviated with Mad Cow.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the other side here.
Go for it.
I really like this comp out of JTLE. This is what a Sivir comp should look like. The only at like 125% LPL on that team is the Braum, and even then the Braum works with Sivir.
Yeah, and Braum's just so meta and so good. It's you gotta pick it.
But it's also the only champ we've really seen much of Scotch not playing. It's been a really contested pick in the whole league this season. It's been kind of strange, but there's a huge drop off for him after he gets that champ. So I like all of those picks. They go together. They give a lot of comforts. Ghost, he played so much Sivir last season when he was playing AD carry for your guys' team.
Yeah, Ghost knows all about playing Sivir and people telling him to play Sivir. I feel like at this point, if you sign up to play AD carry in this league, you have to be ready to hear the line, I think we want you on Sivir this week. It happens with every team I'm on. I tell them you gotta play Sivir, man. This champion is just too good.
All right, I want to give a shout out to the boy Camer and his Dick Squad who show up in Twitch chat every week and hype the hell out of him. I really respect that. Like when I was Camer's age, that was my dream, was to play video games that people cheer for me, and they didn't cheer for me when I was his age. They cheered against me.
Yeah.
So props to Camer, living the dream. He's got a Dick Squad. Someone says if he wins, he's getting sucked off tonight, which is fucking awesome, man. That's great for 14.
Dude,
so
this guy is
good
literally
luck.
living the SBL dream.
So Dick's out for Camer, boys.
Is Balls has a chode? Is he part of the Dick Squad?
No, I believe that's Gabe O'Neill.
Oh, that makes sense because he said, "I wish Gabe O'Neill had fans."
All right, so the last matchup we're going to talk about here, mid lane, we didn't really touch on much. I am really excited to see this matchup because I don't know shit about mid lane matchups. This is where I'm always like thrifty. What do I expect here? But this is something I expect both of these mid laners to know fairly well because they both play a ton of their opponent's champions. Wang has been super renowned on that Aurelion Soul, more with Waifu Superstar last split than with Muffin Men this split, but good champ for him. Thor, ever since Azir kind of fell off, has been known as a Malzahar player. And I assume that this is going to be they're going to farm out this lane a lot and then get the chance to kind of get into mid game and both show off their champion strengths.
I think you switched around the teams there.
What's that?
You said Thor's playing Malzahar.
I meant Wang's playing Malzahar, but
Yeah.
Thor knows how to play Malzahar.
Oh,
he plays
yeah,
a lot
that's
of
true.
Malzahar, and Wang plays a lot of Aurelion Soul, so I
Yeah.
think they both should know what's going to happen in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's always interesting because it really does. It's not only a test of how much you know about the champion you're playing, but it's a test of how much you know about what the other person's playing and all the different weird interactions they might encounter. This is cool. Do you see that's a spectator? It like pops out the items, it, like accents them when they go into the inventory. That's so cool.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks,
Brad's working on
Ryan.
shit like that instead of real spectator features.
Shocks fired. Alright, are we gonna see a level 1 invade out of Muffin, man? They're going in hyphy into this river. Oh, okay.
Missteps out of the bush there, but no one to see him.
Yep. Hashtag free Joey.
Hashtag free Joey coming out of Wang. A little bit of roommate love there. And yeah, I don't know what to expect here.
I don't. This is just a traditional fan out from Joey's top lane Emporium.
Level 1s are always so intense, man, because you don't want to like talk too loud, or they might know that you're talking about them. And they're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
That was pussyfooting around. Camera takes a really bad path to lane there. I'm gonna call him out for that. It doesn't end up mattering, but walking past the bush for no reason. You're Diamond. You should be better than that, man.
No. See, that's a Diamond mistake. That's just cockiness and like I
That's
don't give a
Cameron saying,
shit.
if all 5 of you are in here, I'll take you all on.
Yeah, dude.
I can respect that. That seems like, from what I understand of Cameron, his mindset.
Yeah.
So shout out to the boy Thor, who misses the first 3 CS of this laning phase. That is not ugly, man. I'm glad I don't get to talk about people missing CS enough. I notice so much of it when I'm not casting, so it makes me happy to be able to call someone out for that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Matko is just standing in front of this minion wave. I don't know how Purple's gonna get in here. Well, Layton's in a good position right now for him, but Matko looks like he's gonna get to level 2 here, and he's just gonna lay down tons of harass with that
Yeah,
Q.
if Devout Milk is smart, he's going to be in that top lane a lot, and that worries me to have to say that, because I would not want to have to rely on Devout Milk's intelligence if I'm trying to win an SBL game. I want him just to be able to kind of like set up and like just show up somewhere and like hit some Qs, hit some Es, jump out and be like, dude, look at all my mechanics, man. You'd be like, yeah, dude, good job. I don't know if he's gonna know that he needs to be camping this lane for Purple to have a chance of getting into this game.
Yeah. You'd hope that Purple is the one calling for this right now. Like, I'm getting pushed in, he's pushed up. I mean, there's without a doubt Matko is gonna warn, and he did in that river. But just coming into the lane and alleviating this pressure is all that's needed for Purple to try to stay in here.
Alright, there's going to be a lot of damage going on Scout, who's still level 1, getting chunked under his tower, but going to barely survive. He levels to 2 in the middle of that engage.
A lot of damage on the way back, though. It goes in some boomerang and ricochets onto Camera.
Yeah, no summoners blown, so that's the big thing to watch.
Oh man, he's trying for those flashy through the minion hooks. Love it.
So, one thing I want to point out before I forget, first dragon in this game is going to be a fire, so I do expect we're going to see a fight for that fairly early.
Yeah, whoa, we got a Synapse on this Hecarim. He's being spotted out in the enemy jungle, and yeah, he's going to route out of there.
Yeah, that gives Helric and Camera a chance to kind of play forward in this lane.
Yeah, look at the wards though on this top side for Muffin, man. They're everywhere. They got deep vision on blue side.
Cameron's putting down a lot of damage. Helric goes forward, but this is all DPS onto Scotch now. But Cameron has to commit. He is so close to a double kill. Scotch now flashes down. Now Cameron with the outplay gets the first blood on the ghost.
Ooh, playing with fire there. So close, that 2v2 duel down in bottom lane. But man, Cameron flexing the muscles already on the solution. First blood goes to him.
Ghost had both of his summoners up. He just didn't think that would.
He didn't heal. He didn't heal to save his buddy. Or to save himself. I mean, that's rough.
Meanwhile, in this mid lane, here comes Development, lands the Q going in, and that's a lot of damage really fast on Thor. Now Development flash forward, Thor has to flash out, but here comes Synapse with the Ghost going for Wang, and Ignite gets dropped onto Synapse and a stun, but Development, both junglers pick up a kill on the opposing mid lanes here, and Development watching those rage creeps do the fight for him, but Mad Cow is coming down and Development gets out of there.
Whew, these are some really mechanically good ganks in this early game. I mean, that was really good going into the mid lane like that, just to apply the red buff. But Development flashing, he didn't get the auto off. Thor timed it correctly and canceled the auto, so the red buff didn't get applied again. But it's a good counter gank coming out of Synapse that just traded 1-for-1 at the end.
So I have to imagine that it's not really a huge win for either jungler, since both junglers got those kills.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both going to snowball, fairly hard, at least in Hecarim. But Wang does come out a bit on CS. I couldn't see if that was a lead he had from before the gank, or if Thor missed a lot of CS there, so that's really all the lead generated out of that gank, as far as I can tell. So nothing too major. Just exciting.
Top lane looking 11 CS, 12 CS now. Purple
Yeah,
has
he's
to
gonna lose
recall.
more. He has to recall. He is... Mad Cow is level 6. He has tower dive potential. And that's going to be a TP down for the Purple Pickle Pie.
Yep. Yeah, Manco. I mean, I guess he's just doing what the matchup is expected to do. He's just straight bullying Poppy out of any CS, and he's playing so close to the enemy tower. He's putting so much pressure down, and that just alleviates probably some from his other lanes.
It also nets his team a teleport advantage. So if he goes back to that lane and keeps pushing, now the Muffin Men bot lane has to be so scared of the pressure. Oh, but an awkward hook barely hits Ghost, and now the boy Cammer going in. Ghost does pop the heal this time and is going to barely get up, and he steps a little too far forward. Whoa! What are you doing? Ghost goes down!
Woo. Oh man, this is looking gruesome in this bot lane so far. We're at the 50 CS mark for this Cammer guy.
That is a 1,300 gold lead for Cammer over Ghost!
Oh, and especially on someone like Lucian, this is going very poorly in the bottom lane for
I am so
JTLE.
happy. I was going to go off on like a 2-minute rant during the draft about how underrated I thought Ghost was last split, and I'm glad I didn't do that because I'd be looking like a fool right now. And Dragon going down fast. Snap looks like he wants to contest, but no might happen. Secured by Cammer.
Yeah, I think that's smart not to try to fight there, or even just try for the steal and lose your life. It doesn't make sense right now to do it. Your AD is walking back to the pit.
It was strange for them to even waste time. There was Skycat with the hook through the creeps. Now Cammer going for more blood. Not going to get it, but barely misses the resonating strike.
Oh, that Melk would have taken that for sure. That's.
I know, he would have.
But actually, Synapse was waiting in the wings. He's now at that bottom tower. That actually might have gone really poorly. That's a good thing that resonating strike missed. Yeah, so we got a 1.5K gold lead so far. Early Infernal Drake too for this team, which I think is pretty huge. Like, Lee Sin likes that a lot. He has some good ratios. Same with Lucian and Malzahar.
I mean, everyone likes that. It's the best drag in the game.
Yeah, but especially some champions like it more, especially early on. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like a blanket statement. It's like, oh yeah, they got extra attack damage and AP. Yeah, of course, it's fine.
So, 8.5 minutes into this game. I'm not sure how I feel about this bot lane experiment that JTLE is doing.
Yeah. I mean, Mako, though, that's still going. They're still rolling that ball. Oh, yes,
absolutely. We gotta... Don't ignore the Mad Cow. He's up about 350 gold right now. And a little bit of EXP, I believe, as well. He's actually not really up any EXP, so Purple's been doing a good job of that, at least. Although, Purple probably going to fall behind a bit because he's going to have the base soon. He needs to be very careful. Because he doesn't have a teleport to get back to lane, and Purple's playing this very greedy. But he has friends coming up because I don't watch my goddamn minimap. Mad Cow getting suppressed, and now the secure by Devout Milk, 4th of the game for Muffin Men. And Synapse is way too late on that rotation.
There was a pick
and now
there.
In his bot lane, Cammer going with the culling, almost gets the kill on Sketcha. Sketcha, you're not safe under that tower. Does not get the ult off. Now an exhaust on the Ghost. The tower dive out of Cammer. He's a fucking monster.
Oh, and he survives too. Double kill for Cammer. Wins across the map for Muffin and Men right now.
Aurelion Soul coming in, and so is Synapse. A lot of damage coming out of that Hecarim. But now the turn, a late teleport coming out, a double kill for Synapse, puts himself onto the board for real. And his team needed that right now.
Yeah, slight overstay there in the top lane. They got that kill into Mad Cow, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to 3-man push this tower, maybe get first brick.
Oh, and this is so big, because this is going to turn into Rift Heralds.
Oh, to Mad Cow, that's really bad, actually. This is the worst case scenario right now for Purple Pickle Pie. One of the worst cases. I guess Mad Cow getting told is the more worst case.
And you know, Purple Pickle Pie is a guy who traditionally we've never seen him play from behind that often. I'm not sure if that's something he's super comfortable in. This could be a bit of a test for him. I love watching. Camera plays this laning phase how I like to play every laning phase in my minds.
Oh, he has his auto spacing. It's an old man, but yeah, his auto spacing is so good. He goes in, it gets just free harassed all the time. He knows when Ghost is gonna go in and go back for the minions, and he's uncontested in all of this damage he's putting out. He's dodging skill shots like crazy.
I mean, how do you contest him? He has a Yomu's Ghost Blade. You have a BF sword. He's up 1,700 gold on Ghost right now.
looks like Devout Melky's paying a visit. Same with Synapse, actually. So we have a potential 3v3 in this bottom lane. Hook lands on Synapse.
On Synapse. Devout Milk is in a really awkward position. He's going to kick Sasha out, and there's another kill for Devout Milk. Now Cammer calling Scott, or Ghost, sorry, gets chunked out, and now Ghost is out. Another kill for Cammer, as Synapse gets cucked again. Cammer 6-0.
I can't handle this, dude. This guy is one of the best SBL players I've ever seen.
Well,
no joke.
He's playing incredibly well this game, but we haven't seen him go off anything close to like this yet.
No, I had no idea this was even possible. Like, I mean, we saw him on Twitch or whatever, but Twitch is like a whole nother monster where you just have to like, you survive the laning phase and then like ambush ult into a team fight. But this, to do this kind of stuff on Lucian right now is absurd.
Yeah, and there's really not, when somebody gets this far ahead, the ball is out of your court to get back into the game. You're solely hoping the camera fucks up at this point.
Yeah, and your Mad Cow starts solo killing Poppy or like starts doing something. I mean, he does have Rift, so he still has tons of time to juice this out and slowly grow a lead over Purple.
Yeah, but
and maybe potentially move that down to a teleport in the bot lane.
Yeah, he needs to find a way to get involved in this bot lane, because he has not really done any of that, and that's not something I would have expected. Oh, but now Cammer coming to another lane goes in onto Thor, and Thor barely gets the flash out.
That's a good flash. That's Thor's been really good on his flash timings this game. He's now canceled 2 autos, essentially.
We see Muffin Man setting up for a siege in the mid lane.
Yeah, Melk's behind him though. He's looking for the kick. Oh, this is so dangerous for them to be there right now.
And there we go. Scotchnock gets kicked out from under his tower. Wang with the ultimate, and there is another kill for Devout Melk.
What is this? Is a
6,000 gold
yeah,
lead. We are 6,000 gold towards the 5-way tie.
3 towers. Every outer tower at 14 minutes is down right now for JTLE.
Yep.
And to do that against an Aurelion Soul is not good. Like his whole idea is just to continuously push out his lane and then roam top or bot. But that's gone now. He can't even enter his own jungle if Muffin Men keep playing like this.
Yeah, there is an Ocean Drake going over, second Drake of the game for Muffin Men, which will probably help them with some of these prolonged sieges they're doing. They don't have to give up anything for it.
Yeah, Mad Cow, I think he gets the hint now. He's walking down. He's a long walk though. But yeah, they're not gonna pursue.
But Cammer may be a little deep in this bot lane. Oh no, Synapse does not believe in going in on that. I'm not sure if they just didn't have the sight or what, because they actually had a chance to take out Cammer there.
Yeah. Scotch is in a risky spot too, trying to at least lay down a little bit of vision on his blue side jungle, try to regain control of this. But it's not gonna happen. Just the threat of those 3 guys roaming into oh my god, a clusterfuck.
Oh, Synapse going deep. He goes on to Wang, but Wang manages to flash his way out of that purple Victify with the Synapse kill. But now Wang gets taken down by Mad Cow. This may be the fight that they need. JTLE with the second kill, but it's only going on to Scotchnock. They're now chasing on the purple Pickle Pie, who's just trying to slow this down. But now Devout Milk goes in. What the hell? And
Camera got a solo kill on the bot side.
A 1-for-4 on the top, while Cammer gets the solo kill, and most of the tower on the bot side.
Yep, he'll finish off the tower.
Somebody needs to remind Muffin Men that their win condition is Cammer. You don't have to fight anything if Cammer's not there. You can just wait for Cammer, because Cammer will win the 1-on-2 on his half of the map.
Yeah. That was a really awkward start to the fight because both teams were vying for vision on that blue side, and Synapse, he just walked through and it looked like he actually just cut through the middle of Muffin and Men, and he ulted out, but it was a great ult because he actually laid down the damage onto Wang in the top lane.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite enough. Wang was able to get a good turn. He was able to get a lot of burst down on the return there as he turns.
Mm-hmm.
But Gold League down to only 4,000 now, so at least there is that for JTLE. So looking at the setup here, we've still got just over 3 minutes until Baron is even on the table. And a playbook that's still pretty wide open for Muffin Men. They took that tier 2 in the bot lane, so probably going to look for some deeper sieges here, whether they want a 1-4 or just 5-man down the mid lane. And really, all they have to do to win any team fight is have Wang stand on top of Cammer and ult Synapse or Mad Cow, whoever dives, and they'll just win the team fight.
Yeah. I mean, this is... I can't recall all of Muffin and Men's games. I mean, especially the ones with Cammer. But we just saw them this game totally destroy the laning phase in the bot.
Yeah, they have not had any laning phases go like this. Cammer's had some good laning performances, and obviously some of those were with Sona carry, but we have not seen them. I mean, this game out of Ghost is one of the most embarrassing games we've ever seen an AD carry have in the SBL.
I'm not the worst. but what's interesting though is because they dominated this so hard, now the playbook is open, like you're saying. Now, how does this team commit? How do they make a decision, make a macro?
They need to do something, because we don't want to see Cammer off farming the side lanes, going for these solo plays over and over, which is what it looks like he is kind of gravitating towards. And remember, he is still kind of an ungroomed pre-made player. Being 702 is great, but every minute that goes by without doing anything, and now Thor going for the Ghost. Oh, that hook to zone Thor away from Cammer, but Thor is still committing to this. But he's got to be careful because he can only chase Cammer so far.
So Ghost pop for Thor, Sivir ult popped as well, and I don't know if you're really gonna catch Cammer out any of.
No, but Cammer's gonna catch you out. Purple Pickle Pie looking for.
Ooh, Poppy ult misses. Thresh hook over the Dragon Pit also misses.
Mechanical outplays out of Joey's top lane Emporium.
Running straight down.
I mean, I've seen people that don't have even those level of mechanics before, so.
Oh, Camera taking that red buff away. That's big. That actually is kind of big. If Melk is able to get his own red buff, those are really good red buff users to have, and not to have a red buff in either Sivir or Hecarim or even Darius to have red buff. That's small advantages add up. So we're approaching the 20-minute mark. Looks like a 4.4k gold lead.
So this next dragon going to be Wind, and it looks like that's what Muffin Men want to recall and get ready to go contest. That'll be up in 35 seconds. I mean, JTLE have to be happy with how they've played the last few minutes. They haven't fallen any further behind.
I don't know if it's really they stem the bleeding or laning phase ended so
that
Camera can style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Camera's gonna try to prove you wrong there. He forces the flash out Scotchnaut. Now there comes the culling. Kills Scotchnaut through his shield, and Camera has hit legendary status 20 minutes into this game.
This guy, like to have the foresight to do that, to see that Brahms caught out. I mean, they had vision. Actually, yeah, he knew for a fact no one could help him there. That's just great. First, A, to realize that, and then 2, to actually get the kill there, use all your abilities correctly. This guy is playing his heart out today.
I want to note, Camera currently up 4,200 golds on his lane opponent.
And this is
and now Thor may be getting caught out here. He gets shot down. He flashes defensively, but he's getting malefic visions. And now JTLE has to run backwards as Camera is even more legendary. Under the tower gets a second kill. The exhaust will make it only 2 as Muffin Men are working on this inhibitor tower.
Ooh, that was a good ASO ult to save both of their lives because Milk had the flash there. He was looking for the kick to execute one of them. Actually, I feel like if he might have kicked him into the other person, he would have got both kills. But here we go. Thor's coming in.
He played gets the stun onto Camera, who's able to flash out. But now a flash double pull from Mancow, but it does not hit Camera. And look at all of that culling damage. Thor is trying to go for a chase.
There's all Ghost
is just barely in position. Hellrick going to give his life to slow down this push.
Oh, and Mad Cow, he couldn't keep chasing. My Wang was laying down the dot damage as he was
But now
going in.
jumps in and Cameron with the outplay onto Thor. Oh.
Oh man. Wowzers. I mean,
Wowzers indeed.
wowzers indeed. I mean, they got the intent. That was a pretty solid play. It was pretty expectant what they were going to do there. The crucial exhaust coming out of Scotchanaut to stop the camera killing spray because he was just going to keep going, but had to respect the exhaust. And that took him down very, very low. They could have lost a little bit more off that.
And now Wang going directly in, going to try to fuck Synapse again, and the damage dot not gonna quite tick that one off.
Oh, that void lane was struggling, man. He was trying to move his little leg so hard there.
But Wang, that is a dragon secured by Muffin Man. I didn't catch who got that in the middle of all the action. Was that Wang or was that Milk?
Milk.
It was probably Milk.
Oh, who do we got? 2, 3 dragons. They got Cloud, Infernal, and Ocean. So they got it all. Except for Mountain.
Look at that item difference between Camera and Ghost. And
Here we
Synapse,
go.
what are you doing? That's not your jungle. That's Camera's jungle.
Okay.
And Camera doesn't like it when people come into his jungle. And
Oh.
Camera is now the bait, and he's maybe turning a little early there. And Mad Cow is in a really awkward position, almost gets the play. Now Purple Pimplefly going to try to knock Mad Cow out of this fight, but he's going to actually knock Aurelion Sol away, who looked like he was dead to rights.
Wow, that was some good peel. I assume everyone in Muffin and Men, when a fight breaks out, they're just like, protect Camera, do anything you can. Mad Cow almost had just an opening to pull him in.
But now the fight being re-engaged. Thor gets hooked out to start this fight, but Cameron and Wang are still a little far out, but a lot of CC's been blown out of JTLE. And now Cameron and Wang are here on a double kill for Mad Cow. But now Cameron turns this fight. He's trying to chunk away Mad Cow. Gets the kill, but he's probably going to die for it. No, he doesn't die for it. Cameron is even more legendary. And now Wang and Helric on the other end of the fight are finishing this off. But Synapse is trying to turn this around. Going for it. He says, fuck you, Wang. Takes out a lot of aggression. And he's going to get the ace onto Helric. Somebody tell these guys you have to have your carries to start team fights.
Yeah, that JTLE, they are sticking in this, man. They saw the opportunity in their own jungle. They turned it around. They kited back really well. Aurelion Sol and Braum and Sivir, they do a really good job of just staying in their ranges, staying back and dealing the damage. But Mad Cow, he was just he could do anything he wanted that fight. There was no camera threat to try to push him back.
Yeah, and that was a good 5 or 6 seconds of no camera and no way. And everything we talked about with this Muffin Men team is about Camera and Wang being a big part of the team fights. And now Development going for the 1v2 play. I have absolutely no idea what he was going for there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't think about what the rest of the team was. He's getting a little greedy, getting a little hypey, as one might say.
Yeah, that seems to be Muffin Men's problem, is they feel like they're gods. They're not gods. Camera's a god. The rest of you guys, they just need to set up Camera.
Yeah. At this point, it is all in on this Camera train. Like, start maxing W, Development, man. You're done. Your power spike's over. Like, start building full tank. Buy a Sightstone, man. Just board everything up. Well, what are we doing here with this vision, guys? We got 4 yellow trinkets on Muffin, man. No blue. Actually, that might be alright. If you're snowballing and you're ahead and you have control of the enemy jungle, that might be alright. Because you don't have to face check anything.
If anything, I would want extra reds.
Yeah, extra. Yeah, at least 1 on the
But now, another big engage going on a Camera, who kind of runs away from his team. Purple gets the knockaway on Mad Cow.
That Puppy ult's gonna come in handy. He's gonna be looking for Mad Cow every fight to try to knock him away, and where they can deal with the other carries on JTLE.
Yeah, the blue inhibitor does respawn. This gold lead still only 5,000s. And once again, that's some really big kind of delaying of this game coming out of JTLE.
Yeah, it's only a 5k goal lead now. It was 6 at one point. It's pretty much stayed even, but you're right. It's the pace of this game slowed down. Maybe momentum actually for Muffin
Oh,
Men.
but there's
the hook
another hook. I've seen Scotch not get engaged on a lot of times this season. I was really scared for his life there. But he is going to walk out as Muffin Men approach the open inhibitor. Obviously a much safer objective to fight around than a tower.
Yep.
And Cameron didn't get engaged, but Scott's not with a bad flash ult. But Synapse is going very deep here. But no one is on Wang and Cameron, and they're putting down a light.
Matt goes
and
down!
he crosses Wang! Now Cameron is turning back to re-engage this fight. That is 2 dead so far for JTLE. As Cameron chasing forward, goes for the kill on the floor, and he's going to get it. Synapse wants to kill Cameron, but Synapse cannot. And this is it. Cameron goes down, but that will not be a... No, Ghost stays alive on a 1-for-4. A creep wave there. But I don't know if Muffin Men can close this out without an inhibitor.
Without Cameron, I don't think they have the damage now. Yeah, Ghost is up. He can wave clear this. Brahm's gonna be up in 4 seconds. Yeah, they just gotta back out. I mean, they trade 1 for 3 in the inhib at the end of the day. That's
1 for 4.
1 for 4. Yeah, you're right. So that's
definitely worth
still a win.
Definitely worth, but
yeah. So now it's 7K gold lead. A little bit more. Dragon's up right now. It's gonna be another Infernal.
That's big. That's the end of this game, Drake.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have any mount breaks, and they're not gonna get one. No, actually, there's an opportunity for another one to come up.
Yeah, but the other 3 is gone, so it can't be a mountain.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, so I mean, they don't need the mountain. Yeah, honestly, this team shouldn't even think about Baron at this point. Oh wait, what about the other team?
JTLE is, and if you look at the vision,
they know. They pinged it. They're running towards it. Camera.
And this is so dangerous, but Synapse with the smite secure. But I don't think anyone can chase. Purple gonna whip the ult out of frustration.
Slams the ground. Well, that's a decisive decision. That's a good move. That's a really good move for JTLE to do that. To trade the Baron for the Dragon. That's keeping them in the game right now. This allows them to push out these lanes, push out this super minion wave in the bot. Evening out the goal a little bit, back down to 5K now, as we approach the 30-minute mark.
Still just Cameron's gold lead.
Still just, and here we
go. But now Thor's getting caught out. He has to flash.
This guy doesn't get hit by skill shots, dude. He has not gotten hit by a single twin flick, which is by this entire game. He is so aware of his positioning. It's absurd.
And there's a hook onto Scotch. Gonna get chunked out again. But this Baron could prove to be really big for JTLE because that's gonna let them do a lot to resist this siege. And Muffin Men don't really... They're making a kind of a long rotation towards the top lane. They want to maybe get a pick or maybe ride in onto this tower with Purple Pickle Pie. See if they can get a pick in the jungle.
Yep, 5-man
but
stack.
This should be easily... Well, this should be defendable for JTLE.
If they get here, as long as they can Baron up this minion wave coming into them.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's Hellrick's hook down. That's a big zoning tool.
Okay, yeah, they'll be able to defend this, yeah. Muffin and Men, they can't really do anything right now with this tower.
No, Muffin Men, they might just be waiting for that bot wave of supers to crash in, force Mad Cow back, but Mad Cow does have his teleport, so that's not going to be a super easy play for them to execute. And
Mad Cow actually just chases him out of the jungle.
Muffin Men honestly looks scared to just contest positioning right now. It's really strange. It feels like the fact that they've been going even for so long. It looks like that's gotten to them.
Yeah, and I mean, Synapse, he has this core completed now. He has the Triforce in Cinderhulk. He's working on that Randuin's Omen. He gets to the backline reliably now to Cammer every fight. So maybe they're scared of that.
Other than that last fight where he really didn't. And Hellrick does have his exhaust up currently. Because yeah, we haven't really seen Mad Cow get to the backline. I mean, obviously he's a Darius, so he's a flash to get in there a lot of the time. But Heroic
Melk
Soul
in the back.
Currently...
He's looking for that flank kick again.
Yeah, and they really just let Thor push those supers out of their base, kind of for free.
Yep.
But now Purple getting engaged on by Mad Cow. A hook lands onto Mad Cow, and nothing.
Ooh, Milk. He's getting hit up. He's getting slowed actually by Riley.
Flash, and there's the stun. He kicks Thor out, and a late Poppy ult comes out, but not going to be enough to save this team.
Oh, is there a TP coming in? Or what's... No,
I don't know, but Synapse does have a Ghost available, but he would be a little ahead of his team. But Thor is popping his Ghost. Synapse is looking for his, and now he is diving in, but he gets all fed by Wang. Synapse barely makes it out of this fight, but Cammer is safe on the backline. Now Cammer Wang going forward for a nice brawl on the Scotch for the first time ever. Cammer's exhaust wears off, and now Cammer is turning to read this. That cow goes for the kill, he's back.
Cammer's still
gets
alive!
the kill on his Synapse. Ghost and Scotch, they do not have a hope in the world, and now Purple Pickle Pie is teleporting to the enemy base.
He's got 2 supers here. He can... If they
Yeah,
keep
the
chasing
rest of his
Sivir...
team to like the back,
got him!
there's a flash on of Helric, and he does not look. But Ghost has a goddamn spell shield.
Oh no, this
and now
is
it's
huge!
Purple and 2 supers versus the world. 15 seconds before Thor spawns. And that was already a kind of low Nexus turret. That is a first Nexus turret going down to Purple Pickle Pie, while Cammer and company are going to...
Okay, Cammer's going in. He
Cammer's
goes past the tower.
Win? No, somebody told him not to do that. Good call. Gonna settle for that tier 2 top lane.
Was that him saying like, yeah, I can handle this? And he just keep going like, I'm gonna run through their base.
He was gonna go, they were gonna kill the Nexus on the next wave of creeps.
So that fight, I mean, the fact that as a team, JTLE was like, yeah, keep chasing this. We're gonna keep going. All that distance, and then actually still land a lot of abilities on to Cammer. Aurelion Soul ult landed on him. He got popped up by Glacial Fissure. He got exhausted. Everything came onto him. I think he got hit by 1 Q from Mad Cow. Yet he lives through all of that. He stays...
The problem was that Fissure hit everyone, but Synapse had already gone in and gone out of the fight. And Synapse is their backline dive. Wang just absolutely cucked Synapse with the Malzahar ult during that fight. And that really turned things around because Synapse could no longer go for Cammer. And then Cammer was just kind of taking collateral damage from everything else that occurred. No one was able to get onto him for real. And... you have like a 2-second window to kill Cammer before he just kills you, which is the ultimate peel.
Yeah, I mean that's totally true because the Hecarim ult, it was very far reaching. It didn't land on the Cammer actually, and right when it ended, you got immediately mouse ulted. In the ideal team fight, they need that Hecarim ult to land on the Cammer and push him back into the team.
And now, Elder Dragon with 5 dragon buffs for Muffin Men.
Yeah, what? That was just another...
Oh,
no,
that's
just another cloud.
Never mind. That's the 5th dragon.
Yeah, but they got 5. Oh.
And Camera gonna casually pick up another kill on the Thor. Goes down to the 0, 5, and 12. And Camera gonna reinstall some PTSD into Scotchin out there.
I think they get this in there without Thor on Aurelion Soul.
Yeah, they should. They should be able to ride this next wave in.
Because they have supers, still have supers rolling in on that bottom
side. Now Purple is revving up the Poppy ult, but once again misses it. And now, the Glacial Fissure. And now a lot of damage going on Scotch. Now Purple Pickle Pie playing forward in this fight. Cammer with yet another kill.
Oh, that was really bad. There wasn't a mini wave there. They weren't gonna die. There was no need to Glacial Fissure right at that second. Wait for the next wave. Now your Aurelion Soul's up, so they traded one person into the death pool.
A second inhibitor, and Baron Nash are now alive. This is gonna be really, really tough. And there's only one Nexus turret. There's no health on that Nexus turret. Oh my god! Now Synapse going on to Cammer, but Wang once again with the suppression. And now Cammer just doing what he wants. The Cammer doesn't need to show you. You know what's happening as Cammer puts the deep down on everyone remaining in this fight. And that is going to be the win for Muffin Men. The 5-way tie.
Oh my god.
In the Swain Baddie League.
This is not how I thought week 5 was gonna go. Not at all.
Well, I guess hashtag bench Joey was not a success if you're JTLE. And we're going to see if we can get the boy himself in here. So, Dick Squad, get your dicks out. Because assuming he is available, we are going to pull the young Cammer himself up into the caster's channel.
User was moved to your channel.
Alright, I think we're going to get Helric in here as well for a season-ending interview. As soon as I find him on my friends list, unless an admin hears this.
The dankest timeline.
So, in the meantime, we'll start with Cammer. Were you aware of the drama in this game? I guess we'll just start there.
Nope, I just played Lucian. That is all.
Well, I mean, clearly that's all it takes.
I don't even know where to start. Well, I mean, you're in and out of this lineup a lot of the season. I know it's a short season, so
User joined your channel.
it's hard to say. Oh, we got Helric too
There's
here.
Helric.
Oh my goodness.
The bottom lane, the wife steal bottom lane. And I guess it's good that you're here too. My first question is, do you guys, going into the season at least, or even up until this week, do you guys practice your duo lane together? Do you guys
Hell no.
queue up?
Nope. Pure skill.
Dude, I've never played with him. I think I played one game with him. This is my second game with him, like ever, I think. Yeah.
And the other one was the other SBL week?
Yeah, and that
match?
was when I played Karma and we got cucked.
Well, it looked like you guys have been playing for years together because you guys
No,
were on
we're
the
just
same
both
page.
solo queue players, so we like, okay. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand how... Because I never played Thresh. But I was like, you know what? This guy seems pretty good for peel. So, and since we're just focusing on peeling camera the entire time, because look at the damage chart. Did almost 54,000. It's ridiculous.
Oh
So
my
yeah, we just
God.
focused on him the whole game.
Holy
Wait,
shit.
is this your first time playing Thresh?
No, well, I haven't really played him much at all. I don't have mastery on him or anything like that.
If we could show this damage delta champions chart on stream,
Yeah,
I've never
could you
seen
please show
anything
that?
like this.
Because it's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
This is SBL history, guys. Like,
It's ridiculous.
Did you do more damage than their entire team combined?
Yeah, he did, clearly. Look at it. Actually, I don't know.
It might not be, but it's fucking close. Wow. Okay, well, so you guys don't play together. You guys are just solo queuers. You apparently don't play a lot of Thresh. The fact that you were able to stomp this bottom lane is even more impressive, knowing that. It is against what, in my opinion, is a weaker bot lane with Ghost and Scotch or not, but when you guys started snowballing, did you guys at any point know this game was just straight over?
Well, I mean, I don't know what he's going to say, but after the first, like, 3 hooks, I was kind of baffled because they weren't fighting us at all. They were kind of just running the whole time, and it's because Cameron's really good at positioning and positioning himself and able to poke without being, like, hit, which is really good. And then I just CC'd the hell out of him. Like, I didn't really have to try that hard. Like, I don't know. Because I usually never play support, and I'm used to just peeling my ADC whenever I do. Like, I just hate playing support. I'm a jungler. And so whenever I play ADC, I'm just used to ADC that does nothing. But he's just poking the heck out of them the entire time, and I was just sitting there like, okay, CC, there you go.
Okay, Cameron?
I just knew when the first kill he didn't heal. When Ghost didn't heal. That kind of threw me off. But I was like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, but even seeing the other side of the map, the top side, Mad Cow being, their respective carry, he was pressuring your top laner a lot. Was there, when team fights started, was there this big emphasis on just peeling for you the entire time, basically?
Yeah, there's a lot of peel around me, and I was just focusing on staying away from Darius. That was all. Anybody else, I was okay with just like 1v1ing.
Cool.
All right,
Swift?
so I guess I'll ask you a little tougher question then. Honestly, you guys didn't do a very good job of closing that game out for the lead that you had. Are you guys concerned about that, or was that just kind of you knew Cammer was so big that you would figure it out in the end?
I mean, if someone was in the chat listening to us, we were just dicking around the entire time. We weren't really we were kind of laughing and telling jokes. We weren't playing seriously at all. I mean, we were like, let's go up here and ward as we go, but we weren't really calling out much at all.
Yeah, they're just like, yo, back up, and then I just get a solo kill on Reliant Soul. Just my ult.
I was so confused because when in team fights, when it was a 5v5, yeah, they'd aim for him and they'd get good positioning on him. But besides that, they would try and 1v1 him or just really out of position go for him. And I just did not understand why they were doing that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just desperate overreach trying to get to you in the back lane, or the back line. Yeah, they sort of trickled in one by one a lot of those fights, and yeah, that, like you said, that's going to be the downside, their downfall, I guess, if you try to 1v1 the Lucian with that much gold. Well, I guess let's talk about the bigger picture here. So there was a couple weeks where your team didn't have this full strong lineup and roster. Going into playoffs, how confident are you guys in able to bring it around, improve the macro game maybe in the mid to late game, and actually beat some of these teams you haven't beaten yet?
I think we're gonna do all right. There.
Well, for me, I mean, I can work on support because I just never play support. So I'll definitely be practicing that if I'm not going to be jungle, which I'm not going to be jungle. So I'll just be working on my support. That can use some work. But besides that, I mean, we can all use some work except for except Kamer, and basically just focusing on our early game, especially because in the games that we've lost, it wasn't really late game fights that lost it, and we didn't throw randomly. It was more of early game, just not being there.
Yeah, not getting the early lead that you guys need.
Yeah.
I mean, Fizz on your Jace though, they're 5-0. Are you guys the Fizz on your Jace killers? Do you guys think you match up well against that team?
I mean, for me, I don't know, because I don't know anyone in this league. So watching them play, they have really good positioning and really good fight mechanics and just deciding where they are going to be at the right time. So that's good, but I honestly, I have no idea.
All right. Swift, you got any final thoughts, remarks?
No, I think that settles it. I guess actually, Cammer, if you have anything you'd like to say to your fans who have been
Yeah.
going insane in Twitch chat this whole time.
I just want to say, shout out to the Cameron Dick Suck Squad. I appreciate you.
Nice.
That's a
Get me
wrap.
back later.
That
Know what I'm
is a good way to wrap things up. So that is going to do it for now, guys. I believe we are maybe about to pull in another interview here that I really don't want to do, and I hope doesn't actually happen. But I don't think I'm going to have a say if the TeamSpeak admins just start dragging people around here in a moment.
Yeah.
So, Cameron, Helrick, thanks for the interview. Really
Yeah.
excited to watch you guys in playoffs because I do hate to see teams that can never get their starting rosters together, and you guys definitely have some real potential to make a run once the best of 5 start. So, best of luck to you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you, sir.